Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their faces. When it comes to this bubble chip, there's been so many different opinions on it. Was it really hard? Was it really challenging? Was it easy? Was it just narrative to say that it's hard? Well, listen, Daryl Morey, GM and president, has actually had something to say about this. If you haven't seen it, let's get into the clip right now.
I absolutely would have celebrated it as legitimate, knowing the immense effort and resilience required. Yet everyone I speak to around the league privately agrees that it doesn't truly hold up as a genuine championship.
All right, guys, so you heard it there. Now let's get into what LeBron James got to say about it, because this is polar opposite. Is Daryl Morey, is he lying? Was LeBron lying? Let's get into what LeBron had to say.
The thing that I know for sure, that I've been a part of two teams that's won the two hardest championships in NBA league history. The 2016 Cavs coming back from 3-1 versus 73-9 team, and then what we went through in the bubble.
What?
If you were not in a bubble, you don't quite understand it. You would never, ever understand how hard it was.
Just overall, your thoughts on life inside the bubble right now.
It's all good, mate. Let's be clear, mate. This is not Syria, mate. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that hard.
Everything you're accustomed to, your own bed or your chef, you know, your sleeping pattern. In my room, literally seeing the walls like this, like The Shining.
Just blood.
Just like blood coming down my walls. I go in the hallway, it's like two kids on a tricycle. I'm like, oh, holy shit.
Okay, cool. Now let's get into what Alex Caruso had to say. And if you don't know, Alex Caruso just won a championship, his second ring. His first one was in the bubble with the LA Lakers. But this is how he felt about his bubble chip. And this is his opinion. And this is his sober. No, I'm just kidding. Not sober. Not so much sober. This is his little bit of drunk thoughts. You know what they say. Drunk thoughts, they speak sober thoughts. So let's get into what he had to say.
How much better does this one feel?
Yeah, now I got a real one. Now nobody can say anything.
All right. So now here's my problem. And I'm going to say this right now. I don't have any problem with the bubble chip. The only problem I do have is LeBron acting like the man was in Iceland fishing in ice water to get his meals. And he's stuck there and they're all abandoned in the middle of nowhere. And they're playing basketball in frozen tundra. That's the way the man is describing it. And that's the beef I have. Stop it, man. Stop the nonsense for real, for real. Like, come on, bro. That was the hardest ring, bro. You had no crowd, you had no travel, you had chefs, you had butlers, you had maids, you had everything. Everything at your feet. And you're gonna tell me that was one of the hardest one. That was the hardest ring, the two hardest rings to win in NBA fucking history. Bro, that makes me sick, man. And I'm not sitting there saying that there wasn't challenging things with the bubble, but don't sit there and give me that it was the hardest one the ring to win, bro. Come on, bro. Stop it, man. First off, you played the Miami Heat with the injured team, man. Like, let's not act like your role was hard, bro. Stop. Now, why would it be hard? So if LeBron says it was the hardest ring, why would it be hard, right? You may want to wonder, right? So I don't see how it would be hard to play basketball in a gym with no fans. There's no pressure. There's no travel. There's no back-to-backs. There's no jumping on a red-eye flight. There's no, I'm in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left and I'm down one and the crowd is screaming on the away game. There's none of that. There's none of it. Like, to me, that's what makes those moments special. You and the crowd, the feeling, the energy, the pressure, the travel. You know what I'm saying? The feeling, the press. There's a lot of pressure. Hey, like, you're going to win it. I know Kobe just passed. You guys going to win it for LA. Yeah, we're going to do it for Kobe. And then you got to think in the back of your mind, oh, damn, I got to win this for LA. I got to win this for Kobe. Like, there's a lot of pressure that the media, the fans bring on. There's a lot of this is an energy that comes with the NBA Finals. Now, there's no NBA Finals without a crowd. There's no NBA Finals without that, man. I'm sorry. Now, again, I'm going to keep saying this all video, that I'm not taking it away from them. I'm just saying that it wasn't hard. And I'm not buying that it was hard while people were out here working during the pandemic, busting their you-know-what to make ends meet, and they weren't sitting there crying. They were saying, like, yo, I got to do what I got to do to feed my family. A lot of people lost their jobs during this time, too. So we're not going to sit there and feel bad and sympathize with you because you had to go in a bubble and play basketball when the people were losing their family members, losing their jobs. losing their sanity at home. And they didn't have freaking food. They didn't have chefs making them food and getting massages. They didn't have any of that. So why the hell do you think the people were going to sympathize with you? Not at all. So if Alex Caruso said what he had to say, and he really meant what he had to say, why in the hell are we going to sit there and tell him he's wrong? Right? If the man feels that his championship with the Oklahoma City Thunder was actually something that he's proud of, and the one that he won in the bubble was something that he don't really care about, who are we to sit there and say that? That's the man's opinion. Now, LeBron can have that opinion too, but we can look through the facts, bro. That wasn't really a tough road. And not only that wasn't a tough road, many people who work freaking blue-collar jobs, bro, they were out there working during the pandemic. Yeah, they can come home to their family and you couldn't. That's the only thing that could be challenging. I can understand that. But let's not act like you're not getting paid millions of dollars to be in a resort. People who out here and grinding, bro, we're not sympathizing with you. I'm sorry. We're not looking at you like a charity case. Like, man, I feel so bad for these guys making hundreds of millions of dollars to play basketball, stuck in a resort, eating steaks and getting massages. Like, come on, bro. We just not gonna feel that. Just being bro, act like he was in World War III fighting freaking Russians and freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like hunting in the wilderness to get his next meal. The walls are closing in on him and he has PTSD. Bro, shut up, bro. Come on, man. Like it's annoying. And like I look at it like this. This is something I think that we would have seen. And I hate doing this sometimes because it feels like I'm always comparing. But if we talk about like Larry and the alpha male, Larry Bird or Jordan or like Kobe, they'll be like, you know what? The bubble chip, you know, I'm here. I got to do what I got to do. It is what it is. You know, I didn't create the circumstances because that's the reality. They didn't create the circumstances, and that's why I don't take it away. I'm not taking away the bubble chip because of the circumstances. I'm not going to do that, but I'm not going to sit there and hear you say it was the hardest. So here's what I think LeBron, here's what I think Bird, Kobe, and Mike would have said. They would have said, the situation is unfortunate. However, we're here now. We're going to compete and do our best to win a championship. And if after there was talks like, oh, yeah, guess what? I'm going to win another one. Watch me win another one. I'm going to win another one, bring another one to LA so we can celebrate this one in the city. That's what they probably would have done. Now, here's my issue. And this is another problem I have. The Lakers never made it back to the NBA Finals. The Heat did. They lost again to Denver, but the Heat made it back. And let's look at that Heat team. That Heat team was not a great team. They had a rookie Tyler Hero. They had a hurt Bam Adebayo. They had old Andre Iguodala off the bench. They had Jay Crowder. Gordon Dragic was hurt. Like that team, it's not like you played it like an amazing team. Like the Heat are a collective good group, but they weren't better than Denver. They played better teams in the beginning of the bubble. I think the Denver win was good. I don't know if they played the Clippers. I know they played the Blazers in the first round with old Melo and Dame and CJ, but those teams were middle of the pack. And this is before Denver really kind of got there. I think they're a couple years after is when they kind of really got to be that elite team. And I'm not taking away any of this because at the end of the day, they beat the teams. You put teams in front of them, they beat them. Like I said, I ain't going to sit there and take away from the bubble. I don't want to contradict myself at all in this video, but I want you guys to make this understanding. If Alex Caruso says this, if Daryl Morey says the thoughts going around these players' minds in the NBA is that there's always going to be an asterisk next to it and that they don't really respect it or count it, then why do we have to go with your narrative to make it seem like you won the freaking World War III chip? Like, that to me is what bothers me. I'm not buying the bubble as the hardest ring to win. So my final thoughts on this is this. I'm not buying that it was the hardest ring to win. But what I'll say, and I'll say with confidence, is I'm not going to take away anything for the things that players didn't create. It's not fair to them. I'm going to respect their ring as his fourth ring. I can call it a bubble chip if I want, but at the end of the day, it is a bubble chip. It wasn't a regular season NBA game. There was no fans. There was no pressure. There was no home court advantage. There was no crowd screaming with the fourth quarter where you had to make a clutch play. There was none of it. It was just simple pickup basketball, AAU style basketball. Granted, that's the way it was. That's the way they took it. That's the way they played it. I ain't taking away their win. I'm not buying it. It was the best. I'm just not buying it. It was the hardest ring ever. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. And you know, was this the hardest ring to win in NBA history, or is that a load of bullshit? And then also, let me know if you agree with Daryl Morey or do you agree with LeBron? My name is Tyler Rose. This is Tyler Rose TV. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Peace.